Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing today? What's going on? Archaic Hammer, Veilwrath, Tomahawk, Warrior? Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Alright, let's jump in and get painting. Go. Try not to shake the desk, because apparently my desk gets shaky again. And I don't know why. It's not my camera this time. It's the actual desk. Is it because... Let's see. Huh. Literally my desk shaking. One problem after another. Alright, so we are going to try to finish Forgefiends today. Excuse me. If we finish these, we're going to try to finish some Tyranids. The ones we were working on last week, we're going to try to get those finished. So let's just go ahead and get into it. First step is the longest step. We're going to be highlighting the red. So all we're doing with this red is we're going to put our base color back on, which is this burnt red, and we're just avoiding the edges. That's all we're doing. So we're getting all the middles of the panels and everything like that, and that's it. That's all we're doing here. So sat on 2 of these minis. Of dried paint out here first. How is everybody's... today is Thursday, right? That's what we're working with. Everybody's Thursday, man. Mine's been good. I have clean water, clean wet palette. Mini's almost finished, so I can't complain. I was doing some work last night, so I was doing a couple little highlights, like the skin and the grays on these minis, so... I adjusted camera settings, so hopefully the camera settings are a little better. But if they're not, let me know. Lots of cool stuff getting announced today. New Chaos Space Marine detachment, so if you're a Chaos player, a new way to play, which is, it looks really cool. It's I guess the Chaos Space Marine version of Drukari. But it's the fabulous Fabius Bile, Fabulous Bill, Fabius Bile. It's his group. basically get combat drugs. And it's like the old school combat drugs rules. But I'm now convinced that the Dark Eldar Witch Cult detachment, whenever that comes out with their codex or whatnot, is going to have those rules. Combat drugs. Alright, let's get the other arm. Might take a little bit of time, but and this is the last big step on this mini. Everything else is pretty quick. And like I said, we got some time where we're gonna revisit these Tyranids. And I was working on the basing for them last night, but we can continue on with that. Basically just have their basing and some eyes to paint. Tyranids are done. So I'll have these done this weekend. Finishing touches, we'll get started on the next thing, and I think next week that means we're going to be painting more Chaos. It's going to be Vashtor. Vashtor will be our Christmas mini. But I'm excited, he should be a really fun mini to paint. He was definitely one of those minis, like I really like Vashtor. I don't think I would ever buy Vashtor because I don't play Chaos Space Marines or anything. But just always thinking like, man, I hope someone sends me Vashtor to paint. Hey, Mydro, what's up? It's highlighting our reds. That's what we're doing. Start at the head and work down his torso. was hoping there'd be a second Heresy Thursday article. It sounded like they were going to do a second article today. I'm eagerly awaiting. Taking a day off just to house clean? Is that what you're doing? Hey, man. Well, hopefully it is quick and productive. We have time to chill and paint some minis. Painting wife is off work again today. Lost her voice. Can't teach. Especially not music. Don't have a voice, so... Just repainting the red. Yeah, so what I did, I put this base color of red on the mini, and then I put a wash down, and the wash kind of tinted everything a little darker, but mainly what the wash did was it went into the recesses of the model. So all these points where this trim meets the red paint, like the panel, and that is even darker. So it kind of like grabs it like a shadow. And so what I'm taking then is the base color, which was our burnt red, and I'm going over it, but I am avoiding kind of those areas near the edges, like those corners. So it lightens up the red in the middle of the panel and keeps the edges darker, which helps exaggerate those kind of shadows and highlights a little more. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So if I wanted to go further, I would keep getting... Yeah, it's like black outlining. Yeah, but you're just hitting the recessed areas, like where light won't get... It won't fully get. Aslan, John Lockridge, and Raja, welcome in. Welcome in. My desk is wobbly for some reason. My camera isn't touching it, but it looks like my camera is shaking every time I bump my desk. So... we're back to this problem, but I think I have better lighting and camera look and everything. Do you do that on most paints? You definitely can. Yeah. It's kind of it's a really simple and effective way of getting a highlight. It's basically what it is. Especially if you either don't have a lot of colors, or you're trying to work a little faster but still maintain like a nice highlight look. Yeah, base color, wash, base color again. But again, with the second time on the base color, you are avoiding the recessed areas, all the corners. And then a normal stage of highlight then is you start working in a highlight color into that base color. So start mixing colors in, or using a brighter color in general, and you start working toward where the light is coming from, and you start adding your highlights there. So if your light is coming from overhead, if you're imagining the light hitting the mini from overhead, then you'll start highlighting with the brighter colors. You'll start working toward the top of the mini. So do those tiny goblins. I'm gonna start with humanoid, about 2.3 inches instead of the goblins. Okay, all right, cool. Desert, welcome in. All the green names are coming in right now. What's going on, green names? You're waking up at 10:15. Morning, work has started. It's time to paint. Yeah, nice, nice. Still working on the squigs. What'd you think of the Fabius Bile detachment, Aslan? No, you were the one calling it out. Was it everything you hoped and dreamed it would be? I think it looks cool. Chaos has had some of the best detachments this edition. I guess of any edition, because they didn't have detachments in previous editions, but had some of the most interesting. It's a little bigger. You can learn a bit of brush control. Yeah. Well, and I was briefly talking about that with Zendral last night. He's been painting Marvel Crisis Protocol minis, and he's been doing a really good job on them. Before that, he's only ever painted Space Marines, and so I had kind of had the thought, and I had mentioned that like he just needed to paint something different to help himself, like I guess just like do better overall, because he's been doing an awesome job on his MCP minis. Psychic attachment without psychic phase. Yeah, yeah. They get all the old disciplines too. It's great. Great. The Thousand Suns player in me. Like, see, now if I wanted to run my Thousand Suns army in 40k, my 30k army, and just run the rules in 40k, I literally have a detachment that's made for it. And it's a really good one. So, but I also do want to try that detachment with my ultras as well, because it looks awesome. Hey, you're Raptor, what's going on? Flying monster vehicle buffs. He has his own detachment, which is really cool. I think it's cool. I think there's a lot of possibilities, and I think it's neat with the pick one or roll two. Like, there can be some really interesting things that happens there. I was seeing people mentioning Chosen and Obliterators are probably the best with that detachment, because they benefit from everything and they're already good, so just making them better is pretty awesome. Yeah, the Emperor's Children weapons, I did. Yeah, I did see those. Those look like they'd work great in Heresy, but that's the most of my comment on that. After a team day in the office, ugh, he actually had to go into work. Terrible. Gonna bankrupt me with those renders, yeah. Well, I hope the minis are fantastic looking, and I hope they're unique. Yeah, I hope Emperor's Children players get everything they've been waiting for. We're almost done with the red on this mini. This is gonna be way quicker painting these today. Man, we might finish all these today. Very productive and interesting discussion about VR testing. Okay. Sounds exciting. So exciting. Hey, Star Laser, what's going on? Disaster recovery. Okay, that's what it is. Alright. I don't know what DR means. That is kind of exciting, though. Seems like a really interesting topic. Chosen were always the right choice. Not like throwing Ceres buffs on score packs and Lich Guard. Yeah. Yeah, like they're already good and making them better is just the way to go. But yeah, and the fact that they benefit from like all stages of the buff is really cool. Yeah, Chosen. I think Obliterators work too, right? Because I think they benefit from everything, and they're already really tough, and making them tougher on a lot of those is really cool. But no, I like it. I like it. The enhancements are good. They're cheap, and they're simple, and I think they're all pretty useful. So, you know, that's really cool. Yeah, overall, I just think it's a really cool detachment. It's a very interesting detachment. I'm all about like making more thematic and interesting detachments in 40k. All right, guys, the red on one of these are done. It took me 20 minutes, so let's get the other one. In comparison, let's see if you guys can see the difference. Hey, look, he's a little brighter. I believe every... Oh, hey, Rocket Man. Thank you for the sub, dude. I appreciate it. Any helpers? Everything's on is always good. Yeah. Yep. So, like Possessed, I was reading Possessed are another good target for that, but they don't benefit from everything because like the ballistic skill doesn't matter to them, but they are like a really good target for that because they have good rules. Benefit. So basically, your elite chaos infantry. 2 NFL games on the 25th. We broadcast live on Netflix. Okay. Is that, I don't know, is that good? Do you watch NFL? You're a Raptor? I thought you're European. I didn't think you guys cared about NFL. I think football's boring. I can't imagine what a European person thinks of football. Or American football, rather, if we're going that route. So, alright, I gotta ask you guys, am I currently in the miniatures and modeling category? Is there someone that could check or that saw if I was or not? Because I think I fixed the issue. Cracked the code. I like to watch, but there's no free channel to watch game live. Oh, okay, okay. Chance to go see the Ohio-Tennessee playoff game at Ohio Stadium. Couldn't make it work babysitting. That's too bad. See Netflix choke harder than it did last month. Was Netflix the one that put on like the Tyson fight? Was that them? Say you are Benny. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, it took me out. Why did it take me out again? Oh my lord. Okay, I thought I figured it. Okay, I just put myself back in the category. So, what I had read. That is so incredibly frustrating. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sorry for the ad. So sorry for those non-subscribers. Okay. I wonder, hey minis guy, what's going on? I wonder if it's because I have Warhammer in like some of my tags for my stream. I wonder if that pulls me out of the channel. The other thing I was reading was, yeah, sorry. That's what you get for not being a subscriber, Aslan. But, anyway, I was reading that your browser, the browser where you switch categories, sometimes it doesn't like, which doesn't like care for the browser that's being used, so it like pulls you out of the category. Yeah, I put myself in the category. Yeah, thank you. So I was like, well, maybe I'll try it on my phone. And so I put myself in the category, and for like half an hour it had me in the category. It was fine, but apparently I go live and I'm not in the category anymore. So that's so dumb. So maybe it's my tags. I'll try to figure this out and be continually frustrated. But I feel like I got my camera going a little better, lighting better. I moved my overhead light, which is a process because it is a giant light and it's on a frame. It's like secured to my desk, so I had to move it and like widen the frame and everything. But yeah, so better lighting at a better angle is, I think, the key. And then I was messing with some settings on my camera again. Been a long day. That's too bad. Well, hopefully you get to chill for the rest of your day. Workday hasn't ended yet. Working overtime. Oh, that sucks. I do not miss having a real job. That mandatory overtime, I'd laugh. Be like, I got a kid at home. I can't. Good times. First, be proud of the amount of heresy. Yeah, good. How are you doing? Who is that? Who's that typing to me? Your color is the color of your name is the exact same color as my chat background, and I don't think I can change. Can I change it? Can. Hold on. Ooh, okay. Does that work? Oh, yeah, okay, that's good. Alright, I took off the colors of the names. So, Trinity, welcome. I see you. How you doing? Working on your Dark Angels? Talk about traitors, man. Complaining about me being traitor here. You're painting Dark Angels. what's the phrase? Thou doth protest too much. There is a Dark Angel player in our heresy group, and he is always like laughs at the ambiguity of Dark Angels. You know, he's like, yeah, they might be heretics, they might be traitors. So we'll do like an event. He'll play on the traitors side, just just because. How are you feeling about the cool buffs Dark Angels got? You excited to play some Dark Angels looking sharp? Thank you, I appreciate that. Was reason enough to pick up the new Dark Angels. Yeah, he's got a really good mini. Yeah. I had the privilege of painting him once so far, and it was great. Fantastic looking mini. It's already. Gun. Let's get the shoulder piece, and then we work our way down the body here. Everyone knows the only loyal Dark Angels died in the HRUD. Yeah, yep. I remember when the Heresy books were coming out. I started getting them, and I read maybe the first 15 or so. I read two Dark Angels books. There was Descent of Angels and Fallen Angels. Both good books. I really enjoyed both of them. But man, do I hate Lionel Johnson after reading those books. Like, I understand there's like perspective and stuff, and it's not from his perspective. It's from like a normal Marine's perspective, but it might be like a skewed view, but man, it just seems like a jerk to everybody. Yeah, he is. Yep. Yeah, and then he had his 10,000 year cry, and he's like cool now. I don't mean to diminish anything from Lionel Johnson or Dark Angels. Like I said, he's a cool mini. Um, I have liked the Loyalists. I've liked all the Primarch minis so far. My least favorite Primarch in 40k, like mini in 40k, is actually Magnus. But and he's also my favorite Primarch. So it's just sad his mini is kind of more derpy than the others. That's what he gets for being first, though. I don't play, honestly. Only picked up the hobby because of the building and painting. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's great though. I mean, and that's something we talk about that a lot on here about how like everybody has their own way of doing this hobby and the things that interest them. And I think that's awesome. I think it's cool we can all kind of like chill in one place, and you know, most of us are like paint our minis, whether it's like the thing we enjoy or not. Like most of us will do that, but we can talk about that, and we can always improve on that kind of aspect. But then you have like the gameplay stuff. I really enjoy playing tabletop games, so it's probably my favorite thing with the hobby. But I do paint a lot of minis, and I do really enjoy painting. So, and I kind of paint minis for a living, so I am in this sphere regardless of whether it's my favorite thing to do or not. It's awesome. It's always cool to see people kind of all the different aspects. This mini's a little dated, but you could make some Gabash. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Nagash mini would be a good one, yeah, to mess around with, yeah. I was watching it was a tournament game from a War Games live stream, and a guy had a Thousand Suns army, and he took Magnus and he took a Demon Prince of Tzeentch. And his Demon Prince of Tzeentch was the 30k Magnus mini, which I thought was amazing. You know, it's like either, you know, like a shard of Magnus represented by a Demon Prince rules, or, you know, like the Demon Prince like mimicking Magnus or whatever, like taunting him. But it was cool. So he had both Magnus minis on the table. What we're doing with this red, we're avoiding edges. In my opinion, it's easier to do than painting all the way to the edge, especially on these bigger panels. Yeah, new DLC came out for Total War, released today. I'm probably gonna pick it up. Good. I think the next 2 weeks or so, I think it's discounted. So if you buy it early, you get it a little cheaper, I think. What they've done before. They don't do pre-orders on their DLC anymore. You can only wishlist. Which is definitely like a gesture of goodwill from them. I think it's cool. Part of me would be like just fine to pre-order because I'm gonna buy those DLC anyway, but pre-order and be done with it. I also grabbed the DLC for Battle Sector that came out, which is a game I've enjoyed. I don't play it much, at least anymore. I wanted to play multiplayer in that game, but ended up like I tried to go into like matchmaking and there was nobody playing that game, and so I think it's gotten better now. But I ended up buying the Total War or just the DLC. I have bought all the Total War. Yeah, pre-ordered everything for at least for Warhammer. I did just get Pharaoh Dynasties also, Total War Pharaoh Dynasties, which is amazing, honestly. I am impressed. I haven't played it nearly enough. But Battle Sector is really cool. And they released the Imperial Guard. I'm a little disappointed in how bare bones the roster is for the Guard, but it's kind of like that with a lot of the factions. So that's my only gripe. It's cool. You can literally take a Rogel Dorn. All of Total. Oh, okay. I don't know. They had everything discounted for the autumn sale, but I don't think that's going on anymore. So it might just be that normally when a DLC comes out, that DLC is discounted for like 2 weeks, a week or 2 weeks or something like that, and then they goes back to full price until there's another big sale. We shop on Sunday, pick up some new brushes. An hour later, I walk out with a big Dark Angels collection. Forgot about the brushes. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious though. Yeah, my nephew is getting into 40k, and he's getting Dark Angels. So he went and grabbed the 40k starter set, and he's got stuff coming for Christmas from his parents. I mean, he's 19. It's not like a little kid getting into it, but yeah. So I got him some brushes and a bunch of paints. It's fun. It's fun shopping at my local game store for Christmas gifts. Normally when I do that, it's exclusively for my son to buy like a board game for him, but yeah, it's cool to do that for actual minis and stuff. Battle Sector does look cool. Looks like the perfect modding platform. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what the modding community is like with that game. I have never bothered to look. I don't know if they have like workshop support, and I've never heard of mods, but I would actually love to see some mods because there's a lot of possibilities there. I think the game does a good job of like they're expanding really wide, right? Like every faction is pretty limited with the units they get because it's basically 40k like tabletop in computer form. Like, and it has like specific rules, but it's very similar. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of factions. Just each faction doesn't have a ton for it. So I am using Pro-Acryl Burnt Red. This is my color. It is a wonderful shade of red and an amazing color to actually use. So, as most Pro-Acryl colors are. I will always recommend Monument Hobbies products, especially their paints, and not because I'm an affiliate, but I'm an affiliate because I think their stuff is that good. Broke around more reds. Yeah, let's see, they have what, 5 reds now? Yeah. 5, kind of 6-ish, maybe no, 7. They have 7 reds. That's a lot though, like you know, GW has 20 reds, but GW is also like they're $1 billion company with you know a paint line that's been around forever. Monument's pretty new, and they have been releasing colors as they go. Yeah, I understand. More shades of green is something that I'm looking forward to also, and I mean they have a dozen shades of green, but it seems like green is a color where you can just have 1,000 different shades of green, and they're all completely different. And you could still be looking for just like the proper shade of greens. Yeah, GW has some. They have some bad red colors. Yeah. Supplement with Army Painter Fanatic Reds to get different hues. Oh, cool. All right. Let's get ooh, for his underbelly. We're gonna be done. Our AP Reds. Yeah, I don't. I'm not a huge fan of Army Painter. I have tried very little from their newest iteration of paints, but I've never been a big fan of Army Painter. So I can see them as like a good like supplement color though, like using them to yeah fill in some gaps and stuff. Liking your Vallejo Reds, yeah. They're more pink than red. Interesting. Okay. Hmm. Same thing about PA green. Yeah, it's crazy because I have, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 Pro-Acryl greens, not including any like transparent or fluorescent paints. And it's still like, it still feels lacking. But that's just green, right? That's just green as a color is like that. There's so much variance in the color. Your Red Fanatic definitely has a pinkish hue too. That's interesting. Yeah, Bold Pyral's a great color though. Yeah. It's Americans. Spoiled with our great brand of paint. The Bold Pyro is amazing. The orange red from Pro Acryl, the new Was it the signature? One of the signature colors. Absolutely fantastic as well. And I actually was able to grab Nova Orange, which I didn't think I was not going to order it from their store because I don't order online from Pro Acryl because I have 3 local stores near me that carry their product. Uh, so I was like, if I ever place an online order with Monument, then I'll order Nova Orange with it. But I went to a local store and they had it in stock. I don't know how they got it in stock because I thought it was online only, but they had it in stock, so I bought it and I actually really like it. Really like it. Warriors War. How do you feel with the Iron Hands? I think the Iron Hands dude looks really cool. I think he looks cool. I don't think he's like markedly worse than the Iron Hands Praetor. Seeing a Power Fist on an HQ is always really cool. Like I know it's not optimal equipment, but man, is that like such like a classic and like cool pick. And he has a little servo skull spider on his shoulder, which is really neat. Like he's got a lot of cool details. He's got the fake robotic leg, which I wish they would do for more legions. It seems like it's almost always just Iron Hands that get the robotic legs, when really these are soldiers fighting for hundreds of years, right? So there's going to be dudes all the time with missing limbs getting replaced with robotics and stuff. None of my local stores have Pro Acryl. That sucks. Yeah. Yeah, very fortunate. We have I live in an area with a huge like wargaming community, and people pestered one of the stores for years. I don't know, years, months, very long time, and they're very vocal about them carrying Pro Acryl. So they finally did, and I think that just kind of like broke the dam, right? So all these other stores started carrying them. Okay, guys, we got the red finished. It is a World Eater's Forgefiend. That's right. Yep. I know some people are complaining that it's a little more toward the word bearers. But you can pick out the bronze a little bit, right? It is definitely like a muddy looking bronze, but I mean, I really like it. This is also one of those minis, so like everything I've painted for this World Eaters army so far have been World Eaters minis. So when you see a Berserker painted in this color scheme, obviously it reads as a World Eaters mini, right? Because it's a Berserker. He's wielding a chain axe and he's got his bare arm showing. This mini, being a generic Chaos mini, it's a little harder just to look at it and say World Eaters, right? But once the customer, the gentleman, puts this mini on the table, like no one's gonna question if it's word bearers or World Eaters, right? Like it just fits with what it is. Next thing we're doing, guys, we're gonna do some bright and fancy things. I need to look up how I did plasma on these minis before. Scroll back. It's got a plasma gun. I did them in blue. Okay. They were just classic. Yeah, blue plasma works really well on these, though. Alright, guys. Let's do some blue plasma. We're going to get Talisar blue. And we're going to use glaze and wash medium. And what else? A little bit more of a flow improver. There are 3 things. Dark Angel, what's going on? Yeah, we're here for swag. That's right. That's right. Like the PA red is a darker. PA is a darker than burn. Oh yeah, they have burgundy. So burgundy, and they have dark burgundy, and they have dark crimson. The thing about dark crimson is a gloss paint. And I'm actually going to use that on these minis after they're varnished. I'm going to spatter them with blood because that's what this paint does. It's blood is what this is. It's really good as like a good dark blood. I really like it, but it's not a like normal acrylic. It's more like a technical paint. They also have burgundy. So burgundy is a darker red, but it's also more toward a like a purple hue, right? Like we're getting into that, so it's not as like warm. And then you have dark burgundy. And what I found with dark burgundy is it ends up looking a lot more like a brown. It's more like a reddish brown and not so much like a red. Like I'm sure these colors go well together. But yeah, this one is just it's a little bit off for me. What I really like for like a really dark base for reds is this dark plum. It's a purple, but it's a very like warm purple. You can tell, you can look at it, you can see how it's less brown than the dark burgundy. It's dark burgundy, there's the dark plum. This color is gorgeous. Dark plum is one of my favorite colors of theirs. So, we're gonna get this plasma stuff ready. What's going on, Zen? How you doing, man? Alright, Zen, is the picture better today? What? No. What are you talking about? It's fuzzy. I mean, Dark plum is good. Yeah. Right. I understand. I understand. Star. A little bit of this flow improver in here. Just a... two. The Phoenix Marines when I had them. Yeah. I use it for my my Thousand Suns, like capes and stuff. Capes and tabards and everything. Which is gorgeous. You highlight it with just plum, I think. Or mix in some magenta. It's really good. Leo's gory red, okay. Alright. Alisar blue. We're gonna start with one drop. The paint. Put a couple drops to the side. This being a GW paint, there's not as much pigment. If I were using transparent blue from Pro Acryl, it wouldn't even be a drop. I have like two big dollops of glaze and wash and some flow improver, and I would use like a little bit on the brush. The transparent trim looks almost silver in some spots. Yeah, I was trying to get the color, but more importantly, I was trying to get like the lighting and focus better. But I think this does look more true to it. But yeah, it definitely looks silver if you're you know. Yeah. Silver focus better. It's not as grainy. Yeah. Yeah, Star Laser. The transparents are crazy strong. Yeah. Yeah. It's I have overdone it on those minis so much. On minis with using the transparents, because it's literally like you put like two big drops of this stuff, and I'll use like this tiny crappy brush right here. I will not even load the brush. Like I will get a normal amount of transparent on this brush, and I'll mix it in, and I'll get a very vibrant color. Yeah, those transparents are gonna last me forever. All right, let's see. Let's see what we got. Yeah, it's not too strong. Let's do just a little more blue in here. Let's get a smaller brush. Try to push this color in here. CP. Yeah, yeah. No. It looks good though. Yeah, your domino looks really good. We were commenting on that earlier, actually. Okay, we'll start with that. That is a little too bright, but it's okay. We can do a second coat and we can mess around with it since we're way ahead of our schedule here. Asmodee to finish paying up their debt so they can start producing minis. Yeah, no kidding. The debt that their parent company saddled them with when Asmodee was the only profitable branch of their company. Yeah, it was great. Man, I hate like private equity firms are like the bane of this world. I'm pretty sure. How humanity dies. It's by private equity firms buying everything. I wait for minis to get back in stock now. Okay, yeah. I mean, they might take a long time to get back in stock anyway. Kind of so-so on the blue. Yeah, the blue plasma. It's a great like contrast though, right? Like green would have been good too, but then it would have been like Christmas comments, even though it's not like a lot of green. Um, Pink is another one that would have been good, but you know, blue is. Go back and do a second coat on these, and then kind of highlight up a little bit. You often freehand or use transfers for symbols and stuff? I don't freehand often. Yeah, I am a big fan of using transfers, and I love to use transfers on minis. Yeah. Merc Rain, how you doing? Also. Yeah, I'm not very good at freehand. I have done it before, and I think I can reasonably do it. It takes a lot of time, but I don't do it often anymore. Like I don't do it often enough as to be like a skill that I build. Purple plasma is very cool. Yeah, yeah, purple plasma is good. The Angron I painted for this army, I made his sword glow like a pink color, like a pinkish purple, because you know it's a Slaneshi demon that's trapped in the sword. And yeah, I put OSL on him. I thought I was really proud of that. Really good. Yeah, purple plasma is great. The best thing about purple plasma is I don't have a good purple contrast color. So what I do is I use Pearl purple transparent. The transparent colors with the glaze and wash medium makes the best contrast paint. It flows so much nicer and it sits so much like more even on the minis, like in a good way. Like it never leaves like water spots. It's crazy how good the transparent paints works as contrast, and use so little paint. It's mostly just glaze and wash medium with the tiniest little bit of paint. Is a Slanesh? Yeah. So his sword, something, some Slaneshi Greater Demon was making fun of him and saying he was a better fighter than Angron. So Angron beat him to death with a chunk of metal. In the process, forging a sword. And trapping the demon inside the sword. So he did all of those things all at once, which was pretty legit. So that's the sword that he uses. Which is such a ridiculous story, but what he does, yeah. All right, we're gonna let that plasma dry for a minute, and while that's drying, I am going to do a little dry brushing. It's the demon as the hammer. Okay, that's what he did. Yeah, okay. That sounds like one of those, like, you know, like an ancient myth that's pulled straight out of like Greek mythology story. Great. We're gonna do a little bit of dry brushing on the base. Just gonna take this just take this more ratty brush here. I did have enough brown wash to wash the bases. So, and I still have some left. So I really overestimated how much it would take. Skulls too. Some little dry brushes in here. We're going to be doing more dry brushing on Tyranid bases. We're going to do some back to the synthwave Tyranids. The blue bases and some little grass tufts on them and stuff. Simple basing on these minis. I'm not doing anything crazy. still going to be waiting for this contrast to dry. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a little highlight of white on the oils. And then maybe take a bit of blue, dilute it, and put it around the edges. Get some very like minor basic like OSL. Recommendations for transfers? Yeah, so you know, I use as far as actual transfers go, I use the ones in the boxes. So I save all my transfers too. So I have, you know, I do a lot of commission work, and so I save all those. So I have a huge collection of transfers. But I use a product called MarkFit. You can also use a product, there's a dual product called MicroSol and MicroSet. But all MarkFit is, it's a jar, it's just this stuff right here. Little glass jar. And it's decal solution. So you just read the instructions, where the instructions are somewhere. There, yeah, you read the directions, they tell you how to do it. But what it does, it dissolves the plastic backing. And leaves the pigment behind. So over the course of a couple hours, you end up with a with the transfer. It looks like it's painted on because it dissolves all the plastic backing. Ideally, it might take like 2 or 3 passes, but normally ends up working pretty well. A little more dry brushing on something else here. Some black, brown. Little brush. I love using this brown as like a way to grime up things like exhaust or weapon barrels and that. Dry brush paper here. Try that. Vinegar water was something I tried, but it looked rigid. Interesting. I have never heard of using vinegar and water. Yeah, I've used MicroSet, or not MicroSet, I've used MarkFit for years now, and you saw how full that bottle is. That bottle's still almost full, and I have put on, I'd say, thousands of transfers on minis. It's got to be in the thousands, because I paint a lot of minis and I do a lot of transfers, so yeah, and it's that bottle has lasted me, and it's one product. MicroSol and MicroSet, it's 2 products, and you kind of use both of them in tandem. Put like the MicroSol down, and then you put the MicroSet, whatever. I don't know what the actual order is, but you know, MarkFit's easier because it's just one product. It does the job. One thing you have to keep in mind, since most people paint Space Marines, Space Marines are like the worst minis for transfers. It's crazy that they give you transfer sheets with Space Marines, and like they don't tell you. GW never tells you like how to, you know, how to actually properly do transfers, because they don't sell a product for it, right? But when you put on a Space Marine transfer, like you just basically have to make sure it's gonna be in a spot when it sets, so it'll look all folded up and weird when you put on, even after you put on the mark fit initially, but after like 4, 5, 6 hours or so, it'll start to flatten out and correct itself. And Space Marine shoulder pads 99% of the time are the reason I have to do a second pass of mark fit, because you'll get a crease. You get a little crease in the middle of it, middle of the transfer, and yeah, you just have to put another coat on and let it dissolve again. It'd go away. Okay. Around on this guy, yeah, that's drying out well. Alright. Let's get this next one. I know I could spend 100 hours on this mini, but no, you can do all the crazy things to this mini and make it look as insane as you want. But for a tabletop game piece, and being a painter who can't spend all day every day on a single mini, I'm really pleased. I think this will fit the World Eater's army really well. About 6 transfers. I think all for AdMech can be frustrating. They warp or slide. Yeah. Yeah, I get it, dude. Yeah, mark fit. Well, it'll fix your problems. Yeah, and what's crazy is when you use the mark fit, like, it gets rid of the glossy look on them too. As you know, they're on like a clear plastic backing, so when you dissolve that plastic and you get rid of that shine, and it looks like you paint them on. Like, sometimes people don't even realize that you painted those, or that you used transfers. It's great. It's a good feeling. How Blender big arrow decals. The shoulder should like it. Yeah. Oh yeah, Troy. Welcome in though, Troy. Yeah, it's cool though. Shoulder transfers are annoying. Like playing Ultramarines. I put Ultramarine transfers on them, and the U's always like fold up on themselves. So you kind of put them on. You put on the mark fit. You kind of hope and pray that they doesn't like completely close to an O the time it's done. Splits into heat. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta move quick with transfers too. Yeah, you can't let them like start to cure and dry out and then start moving them, because yeah, they'll just break. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take some white blue, and we're gonna put this as kind of a first step of a highlight here. This plasma. It's definitely more dry. Okay. More transfers for GSE and Broodguard. Yeah, that's cool. Cool idea. I think Guard and Space Marines are definitely the best candidates for transfers, right? Because they got those open spaces, but they're also very much like a classical like military organization. Any of those the armies of big flat panels. Yeah, Himalaya Playa, welcome. I have assembled and painted a lot of Votan. I've actually never used their transfers. So they do have a nice big transfer sheet, though. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, nice extra bit of contrast on these. Cannon. And armies are slowly creeping up to Tau. And I don't have I don't have fun to play against armies, so that's too bad. I have never played against a Votan. I went to a 40k tournament back in like July, and there were 0 Xenos players at the tournament. It was weird. There were like 30 people there, maybe. Not one person was playing Xenos. It was pretty crazy, including myself, which I'm part of the problem. I understand, but so weird. Word bears fort. This is Fist. This is a World Eaters Forgefiend. Yeah. I was kind of explaining this earlier with this color scheme. This is for a commission, and I have painted 2,500 points maybe of World Eaters for this gentleman. Everything I have painted for his World Eaters have been World Eater minis so far. Like specifically their new line of minis and like a couple of Spawn or whatever. Yeah, Coordinate. Yeah, so the color scheme looks great. It's fun. It's a good like muted bronze. It's not like super bright colors, which I'm not a huge fan of, like the brightly colored Chaos Space Marine, except for like Thousand Suns. They look pretty cool, but yeah. So we kind of agreed on that color scheme, and so I'm doing the same steps for the color scheme on this mini, and being a more generic chaos creature. It's a little more difficult to just pick out the fact that it is a World Eaters unit. I think once he puts this mini on the table, he sets it up alongside the rest of his army. Like it's going to be a no-brainer. This thing is a World Eaters mini, but I get it. Death Guard back in black with dark green trim. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's really cool. Getting yours painted. Oh, nice. All right. Wouldn't happen to be Matt Yee painting yours, would it? Because I saw he was painting World Eaters Commission as well, and said he was about to start Forgefiends. It is. Yeah, we raided him yesterday. He looked like he was finishing up your Land Raider. So nice. No guns. And yeah, I actually realized yesterday these side tubes are missing. They're not in the instructions. I assembled both of these minis, and they're both the same. And I did not once see the side tubes in the instructions. Machigo tube. Yeah, he's an incredible artist. Yeah. Hey T Slayer, what's going on? Yeah, he's an absolutely fantastic painter. You picked a good choice. Much. Just work on break. All right, all right. Hopefully it's not too crazy of a day for you. This brush, we're just gonna hit on here 1 second. Got things. Yeah, yeah. I read through it because I saw that. I noticed that yesterday. I was like, huh, like this thing looks like it's missing something, and yeah, I no, I was looking at the studio mini, kind of getting a little guide of like what's what on the miniature to paint it, and like, oh, I don't have those tubes on the side. Strange. All right. What's a black here? Clean everything up. This is a plastic mini, T-Slayer. I wanted the magnetize the guns and extra arms. Yeah. I get that. I get that. Yeah. Any kind of like Hellbrute or Dreadnought mini, I feel like is always worth magnetizing. They're always so easy to magnetize. The demon engines are a little different. This is honestly the first demon engine I've ever put together or painted, but I've heard this one's easy to magnetize as well, or fairly easy to magnetize. So this other mini. Black, and I think we're gonna pull out these Tyranids. Just get on their basing. Figure out how to make blood resin and sit the models on cork and have the blood rivers flow through. Yeah, that's cool. Good luck with that. Sort of cleaned up the mini a lot. It's nice. It's nice YouTube is a thing. I was getting the hobby. YouTube literally didn't exist. Like I could never expect to do anything like that as a as like a hobbyist. Like doing effects like that are just like so out of any possibility. Water. Thinning, speed, paints, and contrast. I do like the like contrast medium. It works well because it kind of keeps that contrast property. I also use like anymore. I use Flow Improver and the Monument Hobbies Glaze and Wash medium, the Miracle Glaze and Wash. I think it does a better job than contrast medium, honestly. But you buy it in a really big bottle, and it's really like thick, so it's almost like a gel. And so I thin it down with a little Flow Improver, a couple drops of Flow Improver with the Glaze and Wash medium. And just glycerin and distilled water. You talk about like Flow Improver? Yeah, Flow Improver. I think is. I'm not sure exactly what the Monument Hobby stuff is, but Monument Hobby stuff works incredibly though. Water. If the paint is especially thick, I use airbrush thinner. Yeah, which airbrush thinner is normally like Flow 8 or Flow Improver anyway. I've always used Flow Improver as like a paint thinner in general because I think it has like a more consistent flow. But also being like a dry retarder is really nice. Prevents your paints from drying out and everything, which I'd rather have the longer working time on a mini than paints drying super quick. So yeah, this is Flow Improver is my bottle that's almost out, but Flow Improver and Winsor & Newton stuff, and then my Glaze and Wash medium, which I really like this stuff. But it's thick. Okay, so we're gonna set these guys aside. Did good today. Hour and a half. What I thought would take me 4 hours. And we're gonna pull out these Tyranids. We're gonna do some stuff for time to get the lab equipment out. All right. Good luck with that. Sounds drinkable. Oh, well. That means there's only one way to find out. Can you drink glycerin? I don't know. That doesn't sound healthy. Looks sick. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, dry brushing is a way to do that. Himalaya. Yeah, like over brushing. Just using like movements from like top down. So, you know, you're just going down, but pulling away like that. Brush, 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 brush. Um, yeah, makeup brushes are really good with that. Yeah, first step to slap chop. It's pretty much what it is. Yeah. All right. Try this big brush here. We got some Probacryl Dark Blue. Gonna load up a brush. We're gonna do a really heavy kind of dry brush sort of thing. We're gonna end up going over all this with a different paint here in a little bit. It's a brighter blue. For now, that is Tamiya Fine Primer, as they make gray and white, doesn't cover the details. Yeah, okay, there you go. Okay. Pyrivore. Cheap synthetic brushes for the win. I need to order another set of these. Slowly whittled down my collection over the years. Airbrush, white ink, yeah. White ink is good. You got to be careful though, because white ink will it'll rub off really easily. So white ink with either a matte varnish over, or white ink and you wait a day or two before you continue painting, or both. Both is good. I have had enough bad run-ins using white ink as a zenithal. I think tomorrow is Eldar. Any guess what it'll be? Money's a Harlequin detachment. Yeah, so they didn't say like Drukhari specifically, but they said there's two detachments, and I saw people like, you know, assuming that it's gonna be Drukhari and Craft Worlders, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking it's got to be something off the wall though. It can't be just something really basic, because this is a detachment in addition to their codex. So it's never going to be something as simple as like, ooh, this is going to be a speedy jet bike detachment, right? Or a guardian focused detachment, or, you know, it's never going to be anything like that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they would do. A Harlequin detachment sounds reasonable. But that also makes me sad that the fact they planned on a Harlequin detachment not being in the codex. So, collecting Drew Carey right now. Wow, okay, cool, cool. Need to know something to pick up. If you're like legitimately collecting Dark Eldar, just buy 3 combat patrols. Those combat patrols will always be relevant and always be good. Because it comes with a raider, and you want to get it before they update it and they make the new combat patrol worse. Yeah, make sure you pick up at least 1 grotesque. Or not, yeah, grotesque mini. No, Talos. Talos Kronos mini, because yeah, the bits in that set are incredible. An Exodite detachment? Yeah, it's probably not going to happen, though. They need Exodites to do an Exodite detachment. Grotesque don't have... they have crappy resin minis that are out of production. Mr. Brain here. Well, I'm thinking they'll do some kind of psychic-focused attachment. Especially since they mentioned Farseers, and they have been hinting with the more recent ones what they're doing. So yeah, maybe like a Farseer-esque detachment. Maybe that'll be the more Ulthway detachment they do, where it's like Farseers and Guardians and everything, and less focus on the Aspect Warriors. Two raiders at a swap meet. Great cast set of mandrakes. Oh, cool. All right, all right. Craft Worlds be featured in Codex. Yeah, that's what I assumed. Ghost Hawks. Yeah. Dark Eldar don't use Seers. Yeah. I don't think there's gonna be Drukhari detachment tomorrow. Go Sue, what's going up? What's going on? Yeah, I did see the Iron Hands guy. I thought for a minute they were gonna have a second like Heresy Thursday thing going on today, based on the way they worded the like last bit of that article, but doesn't seem like it. Yeah, Talos are really good, and I don't think the set is necessarily easy to magnetize, but it's easy to customize that set in a way where you could make a Talos or a Kronos, you know, like a mashup mini, and it makes sense for either, and then you can, say it's both. You can just magnetize the tail. That's the only thing that really matters is the tail weapon, because the Kronos doesn't have the tail weapon. One of the really nice things about, I think one of the underrated things about the Drukhari miniature line is that it's all very modular. The pieces from most minis fit with most other minis in the line. That's true. You can just friction fit some stuff. That is true. My Drukhari minis are old. They're back from 2010, 2011, so some of them don't friction fit very well anymore. Discord, we get a moment? Okay. This is a freaking Pale Sand thing. Oh, snap! Oh, dude! Nice, Zen. Awesome, dude. Oh, I'm pumped. I'm so pumped. Yeah, yeah. All right. Happy Thursday. Dang, that's awesome, man. That's really cool. Really excited. Guys, Zen just won. He won the lottery. I'm gonna spill the beans. He won the lottery, and he's going to be sending me some money. So, thank you, Zen. Appreciate it. We're called out Fabius by Albion. Yeah, that was Aslan. Yeah, Aslan Grants called it yesterday. So kudos to him. Yeah, tiny magnets work. I think magnets will just help it a little bit. A big chunky magnet would be nice too, but if you can spend some time and fit the magnet inside like the tail slot basically and make it so it friction fits and then you have a magnet at the end, you'll be golden. Like that mini will last so many years like that. Yeah, Korean barbecue sounds good. And we gotta get pizza, dude. We gotta go get that apparently real pizza. I'll be the judge of that. That's fair. Dave Portnoy was already the judge of that. Took 6 bites and made his judgment. I think part of his judgment though was the fact that they had like a cool room decor or something. He says it doesn't affect the score, but you know, when he's like, we'll give it this score, but also like the inside of the building was really cool, so 7-year-old G502 to the new one. New cable is thin. Yeah, that's what you were saying. You were saying that yesterday, right? Like it looked cheaper. You have an all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue? That sounds insane. Sounds dangerous. Sounds really dangerous. You gotta eat everything, otherwise they charge you? Oh, that's hilarious. That's really funny. So you eat like a big plate of food or two, and then you just go up and get one thing at a time. That's cool. I think we're gonna so this funny so my wife, her birthday is on Christmas Eve, and you know, obviously it's been that way her whole life. I don't know why I would even think about saying that, but uh, we try to go out to eat for her birthday. It's just something we do, and you know, like birthday person gets to. Oh, it's all cooked at your table. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Um, it's something we do for like birthdays or whatever. Well, we had this stint of like 3 years. Well, okay, so my wife has she has a lot of food allergies, and they kind of came up kind of later in life, and so it was after our son was born. Well, we go out to eat on her birthday, and we had to like limit the places that we could go. Because you know you can't go eat it. It'd be lame to go eat at a place that she can't eat. Like she just sits there and watches everybody eat. Like we're not doing that. So we go to a restaurant she can eat. Well, now she has these food allergies, so kind of coming up on her birthday, and we're like, oh crap! Like we need to find a place to go eat. for your birthday. So, and I offered to cook dinner and everything, but no, she wants to go eat, that's fine. So we found this restaurant, and it's like a fusion hibachi restaurant kind of thing. Um, and so we eat there. It was good. It was a good restaurant. I don't think it was anything like authentic or like crazy, but it's a good restaurant. We ate there, and on Christmas Eve, and there's not a lot of places open on Christmas Eve either, and that was that. Well, come around to the next year, it's her birthday, and again we're at like the last minute, and we're like, oh man, like where are we gonna eat this year? Like I don't know what we're gonna eat for dinner. So we look up and we're like, wow, hey, you know what? One place that's open that we know you can eat here just found this hibachi restaurant, this fusion hibachi restaurant. Let's go there. So I literally am pulling in the parking lot. I'm like, we were here last year, weren't we? Yes, we were. We went here. It's not even like far away from us or anything. It's just did not think of that restaurant once for the entire year. And then went back on her birthday. And as we're in the parking lot, I'm like, this is like the weirdest deja vu, because we were here just last year for this exact same reason and invited the same people. And so we eat there. And and yeah, I think the next year was like COVID or something, and so like I don't think we went to eat. And yeah, we went there a third time, but it was again like I have never eaten at this restaurant outside of her birthday. So we went there knowing that's where we went. But yeah, it has become a basically the birthday restaurant that we go to for her birthday if people are healthy. There was one, no, we didn't go COVID year because my appendix tried to kill me right before Christmas, so that's why we didn't go that year. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? We used to go to IHOP for breakfast for her birthday. There was one IHOP in Central Ohio, and we would drive out to that IHOP. Yeah, but no, we couldn't do that when she has a million and one food allergies. That's literally everything you can eat at IHOP she's allergic to. So, except for like the bacon. And problems with contact. That sucks, man. Hope it's better. Go soon. Yeah, so we're gonna normally we haven't got the hibachi before, but I think we're actually gonna go and we're actually gonna get the hibachi because I have never actually had hibachi before. It sounds a little like gimmicky to me, but my son loved it, so he went once. My son and my wife went somewhere and got hibachi, and they really enjoyed it. So I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. Manage these contacts, but going from nearly blind to 20/20 vision. Yeah. I bet that is worth it, dude. Yeah. It sucks you got to deal with that, but it's nice that you have an option. Just eat Soylent. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's real. Definitely not made of people. Did anybody ever see the movie Cloud Atlas? I remember, well, I went and saw that movie in theaters when I was a young, spry individual and would actually go to the movie theater. But we saw that movie, and I still remember the like little like weird clone servant girl, and they like rescue this girl, and she finds the factory where they make the food for the servant girls, and it's just dead servant girls, like used up ones, and they kill them and they make food into them. And her line just like, they feed us to ourselves. Yep. That was a trippy movie. Had a really, really good soundtrack, and like that was the whole thing. It was about like music and like how this piece of music that someone made connected people across like a million years. Yeah, the Praetor is really cool. Yeah, I'm actually a fan of the mini. Yep, the Heresy mini, the Iron Hands guy. Okay, we got Sleeper here. Cloud Atlas now is a throwaway joke from Rick and Morty. What joke do they have from Rick and Morty about that movie? I can't think of the joke. Like I've seen Rick and Morty and I can't place the joke. Bit much. Yeah, it didn't do well, no. But I mean, it was Tom Hanks. It had like Halle Berry. It had Hugo Weaving in it, which was cool. Had some big names in the movie. But yeah, it was just a weird movie. It was super long. Yeah. Not that I'm any kind of like highbrow movie critic, but I think the movie was. I think it was like it just went over people's heads, right? It wasn't just some big action movie or um, and it was really strange how they like reused cast for like different generations of people through the movie. So like, Hugo Weaving playing a young Korean man was really strange. Alternate timeline where Jerry started Cloud Atlas. Oh, okay, man, I don't remember that. Was that the new movie that just came out? That Megalopolis? Yeah. I thought Cloud Atlas had a really cool premise, had a really cool soundtrack. It was just a strange movie. I remember leaving the movie theater, me and my wife were like, what was the Cloud Atlas? Like, who became Cloud Atlas at the end of that? Watch it, gotcha. That's too bad. It's unfortunate when those movies bomb, even if they're like weird and bad, because that just further cements Hollywood never taking risk and just releasing sequels and franchises. And I like myself a weird sci-fi movie that's hard to understand and has like one redeeming quality through the whole movie. Like I like that kind of stuff. Okay. So here's what we're doing. The remnants of this paint, we're just going to keep using this brush. Old Bob Ross technique here. Let's some fresh side of the paper towel. You can understand they're ragging on it? Interesting, I may have to watch this movie. I watched a what was it was the Adam Driver movie that was on like Netflix or something. They put it on Netflix or Hulu. It was like he's like an alien, but they look like people, and he crash lands. He's like has like a colony ship, and he crash lands on this planet, and I think the planet ends up being like prehistoric Earth. And no, it wasn't Gremlins 2, no, but no, not the one where he's dropping in bombs. No, no. Yeah, 65. That's the one. Thank you, Fizz. Thank you. Thank you for the somewhat reasonable answer. Short for 65 million years, yeah. Okay, our next color is sky blue, believe it or not. Oop, right there. Very lightly. It wasn't great. Gremlins 3 Return to Grimtopia. I used to love Gremlins when I was a kid. I don't know if I'd care for those movies now. Yeah, Tierney's have some great looking minis. I agree. Absolutely agree. A little tedious to paint, but you have such a good theme about him too. It's like Will Smith. Yeah, same guy being played. He does play a really good character. Man, what was that movie? There is a movie where it's him and Channing Tatum and there's some other bigger names in the movie, but they play like West Virginian dudes and not tiptoes. Oh, God. Why did I ever have? Why did you have to show me that movie trailer? Yeah, absolute Oscar material from Gary Oldman in Tiptoes. Um, like the scene where it looks like he's like not on his knees as he's acting like a little person. It's incredible. Um, no, there's a movie about it's like Channing Tatum is a coal miner and his brother is Adam Driver. He like owns a bar or whatever. He's got one arm, and they rob a like a NASCAR event or whatever. And they work with who's the oh it's not Jason Statham. Who's the guy who plays James Bond? Who's the newer Bond? It is like a comedy. There's a little bit of like trailer park humor, but I thought the movie was hilarious though. Yes, Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig plays a prison convict, and it's hilarious. I think Kristen Wiig might be in the movie too. Maybe, yeah. But there's a scene. There's a scene in that movie. Yeah, Logan Lucky. That's the movie. Yeah, it's a great movie. I enjoyed that movie a lot. Uh, there's a scene where they're getting like Daniel Craig is getting out of prison, or they're breaking him out of prison or something, and there's all the prisoners, and they basically like stage a like a prison revolt, basically. But it's not like a riot. It's like a lock-in where they literally lock themselves in the common room and like they refuse to come out, and so it like keeps cutting back to these prisoners, and the warden and stuff is like negotiating with them, and one of the terms from the prisoners is they want the final Song of Ice and Fire book. It's not in the library, in the prison library, and they want it. They want to know how the story ends. And the joke then, from this movie that's more than 10 years old, or maybe 10 years old, was that, George R. R. Martin hadn't written it. Like, he's just sitting on it, hasn't written the book. And that's the joke, where they're like, yeah, you released the book. It's been like 10 years. Like, we want the final book. We want to know how the story ends. And all this stuff, and the warden's trying to explain to them that it's not released, and they don't believe him, and it's hilarious. Like such a meta joke that's still like relevant today because that guy apparently refuses to write. Yeah, funny movie though. I enjoyed that movie. That was a good Adam Driver movie though. Random newer Steven Seagal movie just to make fun of it. There's a YouTuber called he's called Red Eye Reviews, and he did a whole series on reviewing Steven Seagal movies and TV shows, and it was incredible. Just like how Steven Seagal refuses to stand up in any of his movies. Like in every single scene in his movies from the past like 10 years, he's sitting down or laying down, like laying in bed. Um, yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah, yeah, it's so funny. And yeah, he won't take his glasses off. There is literally there's a scene in one of his movies where he plays the villain the kingpin villain or whatever, you know, who of course like wins in the end or whatever. But he's in bed with this like beautiful young woman, and then during the scene he gets out of bed, they have a body double for him getting out of bed. They literally have a body double for Steven Seagal to get out of bed. Uh, and there's, I don't know if it's the same movie or not, but there's a movie where he plays this like kung fu master, where the young hero is searching out this like ancient master who knows the ways of probably Aikido or something, and you know he goes and finds Steven Seagal, and Steven Seagal is no, I don't think he can get out of bed on his own. I really don't think he can. But so the guy finds Steven Seagal's character, and he's like wearing traditional Japanese attire. He lives in this house with, you know, like paper walls in between and everything. Like it's like an ancient Japanese manor house, whatever. And he's like, you know, teaching him the old ways and everything. And they get to a point in the movie where the character explains, like, yeah, there's this guy that's taking over, you know, this warlord guy or whatever, this crime lord. We need to stop him. And at some point in the movie, Seagal is like, all right, I'm in. And then it cuts. And it cuts to Seagal in full, like, tactical gear with a head, like a do-rag on, of course. You know, like, he always wears that. And, like, his sunglasses. And he's like in like a war planning room, like planning out some kind of operation. It just, there's like no in between of him, him just like just going from ancient kung fu master to tactical gear and planning, all sitting in a chair, of course, like doing it. Geriatric man planning out battle tactics, yeah. The Edmonds chocolate donut. I'll never look at those donuts the same now. Thanks, Zen. I love Edmonds chocolate donuts. I can't. I'm just gonna think of Steven Seagal's like facial hair. Yeah, his like weird mustache thing. That man deserves every bit of ridicule that he gets, though. He really is like scum of the earth. Which I think, you know, to a certain degree, most you know, famous people and or people involved in, you know, Hollywood or, you know, I guess known for anything have scummy qualities. But I think it takes a certain type of like narcissism, right, to get to like a level a lot of these people are. Like Steven Seagal, he ran in one movie. It was his very first movie he ran, and people made fun of him because he looks goofy when he runs, and he never ran again in his movie. Under Siege. Yeah, yeah. Even Under Siege was garbage. That movie was terrible. There's only one reason people watch that movie, and it's not Seagal. Yeah, it's the one on the boat where he is a Steven Seagal plays a cook on the aircraft carrier, and somehow he's former Spec Ops because, you know, that's what Steven Seagal is in every movie. And so this boat gets taken over by criminals, and he's the he's the one that stops them. His like 15-minute night fight with Tommy Lee Jones. They're both just sitting there doing this, like in front of the camera. Is it a battleship? I thought it was a carrier. Okay, if it was a battleship, that's my bad. Special operations. Stephen has his pizza. Yeah. Sniper Spec Ops with no colon. Because all his movies are made in Russia, dude. Russia, like, Russians love him. Of course they would, but yeah, he lives in Russia. He's like a big, big. Putin's a big fan of him. He's a big fan of Putin. So he is a Russian mouthpiece at this point. And he doesn't care what the title of the movie is. He just cares he gets paid and he gets, probably make people watch his movies or whatever. Spec Ops got broken down to a cook. You're probably never allowed near a gun again. Yeah. No, man, he was allowed near knives, though. That's how he took down Tommy Lee Jones. It was with a knife. Yeah. I'm sure his crime that got him knocked down to cook was he beat up his commanding officer or something. Like he beat up his drill instructor. That's the kind of vibes I get from Steven Seagal. The kind of guy that's like, I would join the army, but I'd get kicked out because I'd beat up the drill instructor. Like that, those kind of vibes. We all know people like that. He wouldn't take the shot because the kid was in the way. Yeah, yeah. Breakdown about why everyone should hate Steven Seagal. Yeah. Is there only one? If there's only one, it's not enough. Yeah, I remember when he made fun of a bodybuilder, and the bodybuilder got in a fight with him and made him poop his pants. So that's a thing. It was an old guy too. Like it wasn't even like a young bodybuilder. It was like a former bodybuilder. He just did the training, got kicked out, and then worked as a cook. Is that what it was? Because oh my gosh, that is so frustrating. Steven Seagal is the worst. I have a sticky note drawing of Steven Seagal. Someone had me do a while ago. Honestly, it's one of my best. It is one of my best drawings. Yeah, Keto. No, dude. Have you seen his real life performances in Russia when he does his demonstrations of how superior Keto is? He'll fight off like six dudes that walk toward him one at a time and fall over when he moves his arms to the side. Like it's incredible. Stay away from telling people who can shoot fireballs like Street Fighter. Yeah, he's gonna do the was that what's the Dragon Ball Z thing? What is that? We're gonna wait for Steven Seagal to start charging up. Yeah, he's a show pony. Yeah, yeah. Kamehameha. Yeah, it's Kamehameha. I can just see him. He's gonna dye his hair blonde and spike it up. You know he's gonna look like when he does that? He's gonna look like an old washed out like Guy Fieri. He's gonna dye his hair blonde. He's gonna give himself ice tips and I don't want to disparage Guy Fieri too much because he's like a cool dude. He seems like a cool dude. I'm sure there's something wrong with him too, but okay. Four more on this color. We are kind of zooming through things today. It's nice. I'll get the base rims after this, and then maybe we'll get some grass tufts on these minis. I'm quite proud of my speedy progress on those World Eaters this week. Super Seagull. You know what he would do with that power? He would do nothing. He would sit on a sofa and just eat food. That's all he would do. Yeah, okay, I saw that meme. I don't remember the original, like, charging the laser thing, but I did see the Megan Fox memes. Alright, almost done. These colors. We're gonna paint base rims next. See what we do. I gotta paint their eyes too. I'll get a little bit of yellow, I think, and then some red. Eyes, I'll look it up. Alright, Death Leaper. I was there when the old memes were written. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Rinse this brush off really good. Even though it's, well, I'll probably use it a couple more times for dry brushing. That's about all it's good for. That's fine. These cheap brushes are for. Okay. Next thing we're doing, we'll get the base rims on everything. Start with the I'll do a little more on their bases, I think. We got some like grass tufts and stuff we're gonna put on bases. I have some fun like colored grass tufts, very bright like pink and blue ones. But I think his the place where he's standing deserves a little bit more attention to detail. Let me put that. Base rims and eyeballs. I was playing some Legion Tower Defense last night. Had a pretty cruddy losing streak for a little bit. I lost like 4 games in a row. I was like, I'm gonna get a win today. I'm gonna get a win. Well, I played this 4th game. I lost, and then started up another game right away. I matched up against the guy who was on my team last game. I was like, cool. Always a good sign, right? Like, that guy was one of the reasons we lost, so so I matched up against him, and it was yeah, I won. Felt good. Got it with the rest of the minis. So I think in 2 weeks on, let's see, Christmas is on a Wednesday. I think Christmas Day is going to be Emperor's Children, like, reveals. Like, actual reveals. All the signs are pointing to it. It's fun though. The detachment advent calendar is much more fun than the rumor advent calendar that they've done in years past. Like the rumor engine ones are okay, but like at least all the things you've been waiting for decades at once. What are some other things, Groovy? It's the Eldar and the Emperor's Children, right? Is that your things? It's kind of how it goes though. Like a lot of us when you've been in the hobby for a little bit, you have more than one army. You collect more than one thing, and it always seems like there is a period of all of your armies are released, and there's a period of like nothing. For years maybe, but that's kind of the point. Not GW's intention. They'd want us buying stuff all the time, but you get some stuff at once when it comes out, and then you slowly kind of fill out everything through the famine years, right? These years you can look forward to the new stuff. Release Cantor, 3 Dark Eldar characters, all missing units, and Hanso for the Iron Warriors. Oh my god. Dude, GW has so much crap they need to release for poor Dark Eldar. Down on the EC reveal so far? Yeah. Yeah, what's funny is when they first showed the like render, I thought it was some weird STL thing that they were like advertising. Like it looks like another creator on Cults, right? Yeah. It's just a tease though. Like I said, we're gonna see full minis on Christmas morning. So rather go to Cults and get the whole package. Yeah, that's true. Yep. I keep saying I think these minis will be great conversion fodder for Heresy, Emperor's Children players. The pieces don't look like over chaosified, right? Like over mutated. But maybe that's just the specific pieces they're choosing. But like that sword that they showed looks reasonable enough to be used by someone in the Heresy. The helmets don't look too bad. Even the sonic weaponry doesn't look too bad. And Emperor's Children have the Cacophony, which are basically like the proto noise marines.
First of all, let me take.
Oh, well, that was quick. Hey, horror loving, welcome. What's that? Why was that so? What is up going on with my sound alerts? It's always something. Always like 3 things going wrong. Just want to turn on stream and paint minis and hang out. Welcome in though. Thank you for the follow or the follow. Yeah. Thank you.
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your home.
See, that one worked just fine. And thanks for following, Fizz. I thought you were following before. I don't know. Kid is just kill team upgrade sprue. That'd be hilarious, yeah. Just an upgrade set. $40 for an upgrade set. Oh yeah, they are. That's GW. Of course they're gonna be charging through the teeth. People are gonna buy it up like crazy too. Because that's what people do. Modernizing. Instead, they're destroys with prey. Yeah.
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your home.
Hey, Mercury. Okay, apparently just hated horror loving. More like horror hating. What stream is doing. Thank you for the follow though. Thanks guys, I appreciate it. Now, I would like to say that there is a small chance I might stream tomorrow. But it depends on how other plans work out. I might just hop on and paint some militia. We'll see though. We'll see. It's yeah, okay, thanks. Thanks, Sid. Yeah, it works. More appropriate. I honestly didn't expect to get as much done as fast as I did on the Forgefiends. Didn't cause an ad? Oh no. Oh. Thanks for giving me an extra penny, Aslan. I appreciate that. Supporting the channel. Some more stuff with the firm base size. Finishing base. Yeah, yeah. That's fair, Groovy, yeah. This purgatory that you get stuck in every time. Me streaming tomorrow depends on other people's health, basically. And my own health, I guess, but we'll see. I just want to paint those militia, you know? Extreme is a good chance to do that. I don't mind getting the motivation to sit down for 4 hours and paint those minis. Dire Avengers a few years ago. Oh, metal ones, yeah, because they increase the base sizes, right? A couple more. We need a little more paint. I think we have time to do eyes and tufts. That's time for there. Currently have boxes with some 25s and some with 28s. I think the rule with GW is like if your minis came with that base, you can field them with it, even if they're old minis. So, you know, the big bases look a little better because you don't have like feet overhanging the bases and everything. But I get it, those are the bases you have. Right, last one. Artifexes are weird for that rule? Oh, yeah, yeah. They have oval bases that they're on, too, now? Is that the thing? Weird. Wouldn't the oval base be better for gaming, though? Because it's more narrow, but you can, like, rotate it to, like, do cheeky things, I guess. Base they're supplied with now. Oh. Oh, yeah, there's a... You lose 2 inches of... Oh, yeah, because you have to rotate, right? Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that rule. Okay. Real quick. Back to my portfolio here. Okay, what it looks like I did. That's what I did. Okay. What's this? Letter glaze, and I used golden yellow. Yeah, nids are almost done. I have eyes and I have grass tufts to put on. So. That's it. No eyeballs on the little spore mines. Other jet bikes should be on ovals because they look better, more stable, but they don't need. Are they on 60 mil? The Eldar jet bikes? That's weird. The Dark Eldar ones are on little flight stands, little flight circles, which I think are like a 40 mil base, but it's all clear.
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for
Hey, Heat Guy, thank you for the follow. Hey, he's got a bunch of eyes. Okay, I just need a smaller brush. Welcome in. How are you doing, Heat Guy? Rules wise, yeah. And I think that's where you decide, Groovy. You make that choice of like, am I... It's either am I playing this game? They're covering their eyes. Okay, too bad for you guys. Am I playing this game to like serious about it and be competitive? Because if I am, then yeah, I need to move my bases. Or am I just playing for fun with friends, you know, and just for like a laid back game? And in that case, I don't think you need to. I think that's the point where you do what's the cool option, you know, what you want to do. 32 mil flight stands. Okay, yep. I would honestly prefer at least the Dark Eldar to have a bigger like actual base that they're on. I think the current bases they're on are way too narrow, and they all overhang their bases significantly. And they're super top heavy, and it's really annoying to deal with. We're gonna come back and do a second coat of yellow on the eyes. So I'm just going to keep all the minis up here. 60s. Okay. Yeah, they take up a big amount of space. Yeah, but that's what bikes do, though. I have a bunch of Gene Stealer Cult bikes, the Adelan Jackals, and they will fill up a deployment zone, like 20 of those. But they're like little cheap units. Try to chat. Yeah, Troy. Hello. Hello again. You were in here earlier, right? Welcome back. Troy saying hello from YouTube, everybody. Good 30k. Yeah, there's a lot of good 30k jet bike STLs. Right, I haven't used any of those. I have the plastic Sky Hunters. Is that what they're called? Yeah. Yeah, they are inconsistent. It's because they won't update Drukari minis. That's why. Elder are getting the actual updates. Leaving the Drukari in the dirt. Hey, Killican, what's going on, dude? I have to get you an answer about STLs. That after stream. Here for you to paint the... Oh, the spider dude? Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to paint that mini. I wanna grab it just to paint. Oh good, alright, cool. Cool. Start with hex flying stands. Okay, wow. Yeah, they're all over the place. Huh. Does this dude not have eyeballs? I don't think the Neurolictor has eyes. Okay, that's fine. Easier for me. You guys don't get eyes. You don't have eyes. You have eyes. Right? Go through and do a second coat of eyes. We get these little rippers. What you been working on, Killicam? Do your stuff for a new desk yet? Okay, so let's go back on some of these guys. We're going to do a second coat. Yesterday, the new top build by the weekend. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, Killicam builds his own painting and computer desks. That's what he does. It's crazy. Yeah. It is. It's really cool too, because it's like, I'm sure we've all had that situation where You know, it's like I want a new desk and I want these exact specifications. Like I need to do this, right? And it's like impossible to find something that meets all those specifications. And so yeah, having the skills just to build it is awesome. It is expensive. We had our deck, the back of our house. Had it rebuilt. It was this old decrepit thing ever since we moved in. And so early in 2020, we decided to start looking for people to rebuild a deck. We're like, cool, this is like our big project for the year. Someone rebuild this. So we had a couple people come out and give us quotes. We ended up going with this guy, like a friend of a friend, and he's building like 20 decks in his life or whatever. Like he had all this experience building decks. He gave us a good price, and it was all good. He comes out, he's doing a really good job, and he was like, you know, he was struggling to find lumber and everything because it was like COVID. A lot of these places shut down, and then everybody wanted to do house projects at that time, so like everybody was buying it all up, and he built our deck. He did a pretty good job on it, but he was like, hey, he's like, well, I gotta finish this one thing, you know, like secure this little step right here at the bottom of our deck, and you know, all right, I'll be back, you know, in a couple days and do it. We're like, okay, cool. Literally never heard from the guy again. Tried to contact him, like, hey, when you coming to finish this deck? Part of me thinks the guy got COVID and died. Like, I'm just assuming like that he just straight up died of COVID, you know, and like, I don't know, but he just left and like never came back. You don't even know, yeah. He just did like 95% of the work and just leaves. I mean, he was like, you know, overweight boomer age gentleman, so I assume that could be very much a possibility, but too expensive and it didn't make sense anymore. Yeah. Well, it wasn't even like he already bought all the lumber and everything. What we have this little step at the bottom of our deck, like that's across like the whole length of it, and he had to put like a piece behind it or something to secure it, and that was it. Like we have the spare lumber for it. It wasn't even like he had to buy the stuff. It was just like come here and like spend, I don't know, is it like an hour, half an hour, and like measure out the pieces. He recycled a bit of lumber too, which is pretty, like, we were appreciative of that, you know, like like, hey, I could reuse these parts, and you know, like the supports were fine on the deck and everything, and so he reused some of the parts. The guy was up front with us, and he was, you know, I don't know, like everything seemed really cool with how this guy was doing his job, and yeah, he just pieced out. Nice, okay, and then we got those. Yeah, okay, that's all the eyes. We got 2 coats on. Wrapped up in larger projects and just forgot. I mean, it's one thing to forget, but it's another thing like when we keep messaging him, like, hey, when are you gonna come finish this? Look for his obituary. Yeah, we're gonna have to look up his name and see. Like, the dude died. Like he built our deck in like May, and he died in June or something. Also, what's up? And okay, Guardian, how you doing? All right. We got some glaze, bloodletter glaze. and I don't know why I chose this. It's the color I used before. Just can look at the color, and that was the one I used. First one in America has a church guy was passing through, stopped at the church, got bored, built a staircase design. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Huh. He just disappeared. That's funny. He just wanted to build a staircase. Just went to that church, was like, cool, I'm going to do this. Just built it and left. That's funny. Bloodletters. Man. How many armies you collecting right now? Aslan. Here's my Friday. Looking forward to a long weekend. Oh, cool. Sounds good, dude. Okay, we'll put you guys to the side for now. Guys, get a little bit of this red glaze, trying to knock all my brushes over. Better than this, and left it at that. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. Yeah. Just tells himself, he's like, well, my work here is done. As he tells us he's going to be back next week to finish up. Both hands were. He could have been crossing his fingers behind us. That's true. Yeah, yeah. Like, I'll be back next week. Teehee. Just like leaves. What was the oh man. It was a Key and Peele skit where they're like, I have the ultimate scam or whatever. Like the way to rob this bank. And they're chatting about it. He's like, man, we just go in there and we apply for a job, and they hire us, and we work as bank tellers, and we do that. Listen, we do that for 30 years, and we just walk right out of there. They pay us every week. They give us money, put money right in our account. It's like they do that every week for 30 years, and then we just walk out of there like nothing ever happened. That's what this guy's doing. Like, I'm gonna scam these people by building a deck for them. Make it glow orange. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, Zen, I don't remember why I did this. I just did it. So I see it on my color scheme from my previous minis, so I'm continuing to do it. My chat stream back? Yeah, yeah. Welcome back, RFND. Missed a whole bunch. Audio. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Even the old ones that are fun. Yeah. Yeah. Tyranids are really cool. I think the best thing about Tyranids is how like unified their miniature range is. Like, you know, the whole like everything is organic. It's just a really cool way. No, it's like pretty common in sci-fi at this point, I guess. But Still really cool though. It's easy to make them look really uniform, right? Green in the inside of the barn, backside of the apartment. Something I shrunk too much. Huh, interesting. The wrong kind of boards. It's crazy. Yeah, my dad, who is 67. Yeah, he's gonna be 68 next month. But he had some people come out and build a barn in his backyard, and he watched him do it. Probably a bit of like, I'm gonna make sure they're actually working, but also like he was learning, he was studying. So they built this barn, and then like 2 months later, he's like, I need an addition on this barn, and so he built the addition by himself. He's like, yeah, I saw how they put this like this roofing up. I'd never done this before, but I watched him do it, and so like he put the roofing up on his own, and like he was carrying like 250, not carrying, but like dragging like 250 pound like posts. And he had an auger and he dug it out and he put these posts in the ground and stuff. And he put one slightly off, and so he pulled the thing back out. My mom's like, "What are you doing? Like you're 67 years old. Why are you doing this on your own? Like, can you ask for help from somebody?" Yeah, when I was down at their house this summer, and I was hoping to put some roofing up. I think my dad would do. Yeah, yeah, it's insane. Like, please don't kill yourself doing this. That's ridiculous. That's true. Yeah, that's very true, Killicam. Okay. Let's find some things. Let's see, where are they? Where are you? We got one. Where's my other set? Is it in the wrong drawer? I normally keep all my grass tufts. Yeah, here they are. Alright, that one's almost out, actually, but... Okay, well, we're gonna find a way to use the rest of these, I think, on this, this project. So I like these little precision tweezers. These are like the best tweezers. They're in like computer repair kits. We used to get them. What would we'd order like new like laptop screens and stuff. This job I was working at, and sometimes they would just come with these kits with these tweezers, and they'd have these really nice like metal spudgers. And so yeah, every screen came with them. Yeah, and we would. I mean, that's most of like what we did. So yeah, they're just like, I throw it away. I don't know. And I was like, I'm gonna take these home. Yeah, the little screwdrivers, little crappy screwdrivers. Yeah. So I took one of these spudgers and a set of tweezers home, and these are like two of my favorite tools that I use for hobbying. Another thing I'm gonna get, super glue, because I super glue mine to the bases. So, don't mind me asking, do you have a Christmas present you're most looking forward to giving the painting son? Yes. So, it was just his birthday. So, like, you know, I bought a board game for him for his birthday. I was really proud of it. Like, it's a really fun board game called Photosynthesis. And we've been having fun playing that. But as far as Christmas goes, I bought another board game, and it's very much like a for the family gift, but it's also for the Painting Son. But like he has like cool stuff. He kind of asks for like very specific things this year, and he's like, I don't want these other things. I just want these things. You're like, okay. But yeah, I actually got the. He's being paid by Big Sun. Yeah, Zen is. Yeah, yeah. Or Anoke is being paid. Yeah. Can't tell the Painting Son this. I know you are. But yeah, I got the it's 40k Risk. Because my son thinks 40k is really cool, but I think he's still a little too young to learn like 40k proper rules. So so yeah, I figured the Risk would be really good. And it looks like a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm pulling this off. Just a little bit of super glue. If you put too much, it like comes out of the sides and gets all cloudy and stuff around the sides. But these also have adhesive on them, so they'll still kind of stick on their own. But a couple on this guy. No, Stratego sucks and is super simple, and Risk isn't that complicated. No. I play Risk with my son. We have a few different board games. Trying to get my wife into playing board games. Yeah, I will say there are much better board games out there than Risk. So, you know, like Risk isn't a particularly good game. And there's a lot of stuff out there that's way better. But, you know, for my specific purpose, Painting Son likes Risk and he likes 40k. And this, you know, 40k Risk has 5 different factions, and there's like cards that correspond with your factions, and you build different units, and like there's like a whole thing, but it's like a war over a planet. Start with just pink on that guy. Set him there. These here. This is my 3rd time. Lots of minutes for this Tyranid army. Also my 3rd time for the World Eaters. Both for the same person. Game called Cthulhu Death May Die. Oh, cool. I've never been into like Cthulhu stuff. I bought a Betrayal at the house on the hill. Yeah, that's what it's called. I got that for me and the painting wife to play, and some other people. I don't think that game works with just 2 people. Cool minis, interesting rules, similar to Silver Tower Cursed City. Oh, cool. Alright. That's neat. Ravage Star, Infinity, Bolt Action, a couple to try. Yeah, Ravage Star looks like a lot. That was the 40k game, right? No, 40k, was it Forbidden Stars? Was that the 40k Fantasy Flight game? I think it was Forbidden Stars, I think was the 40k one. That went out. I wanted to get that game. It went out of production when Fantasy Flight got in an argument with GW, because Fantasy Flight started making miniature games, and that were more popular than 40k for a time. GW wasn't happy with it, so they pulled all their licensing. Stuffed. There. Don't need a lot of these, just a little bit of these sitting around the base just to add some color to them. A far shot. Do you know if there's a board game similar to Dawn of War? Similar to Dawn of War. Yeah, there's this one called Warhammer 40K. But no, I don't know. I don't know if there's something specific like a base building RTS style board game. None that I've played. Unless you play an OK Guardian, if you're familiar with a YouTuber called Zorpazorp, he has a rule set for 40K Dawn of War. He's made a rule set on playing Dawn of War, but with your 40K collections. So, yeah, that's a thing. It's very alpha. Yeah, it is. It is. But it still looks like fun. He's got like 4 or 5 factions he's got rules for and everything. Typical GW. Yeah, yeah, it is. That is what GW's like, Troy. Yeah, they weren't too happy with that. I remember the big controversy around it too. And people loved Forbidden Stars. It seemed like a cool game. It was like a little like space sector, and you'd build fleets and you try to take planets from people. It was like Twilight Imperium, which is a big Fantasy Flight game, except for 40K. Orcs. Okay, yep. Yeah, and he's also like following. I don't know if he does rules for units that are not in Dawn of War yet. I'm not sure. I don't think he has like Primaris and stuff. But then again, like you can build your Primaris as regular firstborn. Lego would be a fun one, yeah. Yeah, he's making 1,000 different boards. But he's got a Siege of Terra board. He's got he's currently making Edoras was his last one. He was doing a crazy Edoras build. He's also working on Helm's Deep. But yeah, his Imperial Palace board is like usable for Legions Imperialis and 30K and 40K. Those like small scale and big scale, which is neat. Death Leaper gets the most brass tufts. He needs it. Some Space Marine 2. Yeah, yeah. I downloaded the update. I think I have the update downloaded. I haven't played that game in a while. I'd happily play some Space Marine though. Is the new update good, Killicam? Have you played the new operation and stuff? 3D printed bases with details or decorating yourself. I do both. I think I'm normally not one to do a lot when it comes to basing my minis. I prefer like easier stuff. So with that said, you know, I like 3D printing bases. I 3D print base toppers though. I don't 3D print full bases because I think the possibility of them warping is too high. So I just do the toppers on bases. It works out great. That's my whole 30K army is printed base toppers. Play the new opt yet. Just been grinding classes. What kind of stuff you got leveled up, Billicam? You got anything good? Anything like really noteworthy? Max Vanguard, Bulwark, and Assault. Dang, dang. And Tactical. Okay. Which one's been your favorite? Like gameplay wise? I see you playing most days. Most of the time I'm on, I see you're either in or online or something. It's cool. Let's do a green. Down, not over. Okay. Yeah, Total War DLC came out too. Came out today, so I'm gonna look into that. Just to do one at a time. Almost everybody to have at least one. This little one, maybe we'll do two on this guy, and then do one or none on everybody else. I hate assembling vehicles. I like assembling vehicles. Downloading it right now, but starting to assemble the Dread. Nice, nice. Just big, but man, the you have a Brutalis, right? Brutalis Dreadnought. It'll be cool looking. Brutalises are nasty too. We're going to keep that guy without one, just so we add some variety in here. This big one here. 3 Hellbirds for my Thousand Suns. Yeah, it does seem like the Hellbird should get a model refresh. The 11th edition starter set faction is going to be Orcs, according to Valrak. So... not that that word is law, but... yeah, the Death Company Dread. That's cool, though. Are there specific rules for Death Company Dread still, or did they take that out? Is it just like a black painted dreadnought with cool symbols on it? They have their own rules. Okay, okay. Doesn't make sense. He really has been on point, though, for a lot of things. this is the last Hormigaunt. Give him a bunch. Or two. Two is a bunch. We're out for actual leaks. Just to make 500 points, yeah. Alright, that's fair. Yeah, orcs haven't been in starter set since 5th edition, so, you know. Then again, something like Tau has never been in. I think, yeah, I'm curious how the rumor will develop on, like, you know, who's it gonna be, basically. Like, see if that whole thing continues, but, I think the big tell to see if his, like, source with, you know, far out rumors is correct or close is if Lehman Russ is the next Primarch. Because he was saying that years ago that Lehman Russ, you know, was going to be after. Well, he was saying on the line, and then it was Lehman Russ. Since, you know, I guess that would be, what, 2023, right? We'll have to see. There's my Jag, yeah. So there's one cool way they can do Lehman Russ. One cool way, and I'd be happy about it. It'd be if he is crazy, like, mutated, like, horror creature, and the Imperium is terrified of him, and it makes the Space Wolves go, like, crazy because nobody trusts him anymore. Like, that would be the cool way of them doing it. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, big wolf demon. Yeah. Honestly, I think, what's his name? Korax is another good possibility. Because he's actually been described in recent lore. So... the rest of these, we got 5 more of these guys. The last tuft, last green one. Where the edges are pressed down. All the loyalist Primarchs back as demons. Yeah, all the ones that have been in the warp. That'd be crazy. That'd be a crazy way for the lore to go. Yeah, I think Russ in particular coming back as a demon would be really interesting because at least from us watching the lore, Russ always seems like this weird, like, favored thing by GW where, like, he does no wrong for some reason. And you know, seeing him come back and then, like, everybody is just absolutely horrified and, like, immediately brands the Space Wolves as traitors, or, like, you can do this whole thing with it, and they end up being their own, like, Yanari like faction where they can, you know, you can still ally with guard factions, but you know they're not, like, completely loyalist, quote unquote. Like, doing that kind of stuff would give me a lot of respect for GW and their writing. Yeah, but it's also said, like, he is like big Wolfman in the warp, right? Like, the Calyx Helix makes it harder, but, like, then you have, like, the 13th Company, right? Like the Wolfen. But the Wolfen aren't even, like, are they warp mutated at this point? I mean, the old lore was that they went into the warp with Russ and came out as crazy mutants, but I think it's just now the lore is, like, it's a flaw in their gene seed, right? Grass are a nice bit. The base texture foam cut up spruce. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's cool. Yeah, you find your way and you kind of go with it. Yeah, I try to base people's minis in different ways. Try to get cool stuff with it. Let's see, I'll do this other side. How about that? What I have is 2 little grass tufts left. Actually, 2 big ones left. I'm gonna find 2 bigger minis. Let's do this guy. We're gonna take this big one. No, the retcon is I think, yeah, it's like it's like Blood Angels, where it's like a byproduct of their gene seed. Because there's a scene in The Burning of Prospero where basically Wolfen come out. And Ahriman sees the Wolfen and he's like, "You're kidding, right? Like, you guys complain that we have issues and that we're corrupted, and you guys literally have Wolfen, like mutated people in your genetics." And Russ is just like plugging his ears, like that's. Oh yeah, hypocrites through and through. Yeah. Again, which is why it would make it more interesting. Russ walks out of the, out of the eye of terror, and he's like, "Look, guys, I'm back," and he thinks he's all normal, but he's this hideous monster. And you get like excommunicatus and everything, and yeah, it'd be good stuff. All right, well, we finished these two things. One was gamer grass. What was the other one? Vallejo. My local store sells gamer grass now, and I bet they have this Vallejo stuff. I saw the gamer grass, but they're doing another job for these. I'll go check out local store, buy the new stuff. But yeah, man, we finished a ton of minis. I need to varnish all of this stuff. Probably be tomorrow at some point, but we got the the two Forgefiends. These will get varnished, and I'm going to do some blood spatter on them, but I don't need to stream. Was Magnus's shards and came back with them? Well, that's the thing about Magnus's shards, though. Like, there was only one missing, and Malkador was suggesting that he destroyed it. So, yeah. Yeah, the furry money would go away if they. I mean, it depends on how they corrupted Russ Aslan. That's the thing. No. Yeah. So, I think I'm gonna call it there today. I think we're gonna find someone in raid, and yeah, I'll do it this afternoon. Just finish out all these minis would be really good. But yeah, I'll get some pictures this weekend, post them up, get them on Instagram or something, in the Discord. But yeah, let's go find somebody here. Yeah, that's a good one. Right. Let's go raid Retired 11B. Retired 11B is super cool. Alright. So guys, thank you so much for coming to hang out. Like I said, we'll see what's going on tomorrow, but I will see you guys on Sunday night, and yeah, we'll be painting something fun. I don't know if we'll be doing militia or not, but we'll be painting something fun. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Yeah, I will see you guys soon. don't forget, guys, follow and say hi to our to retired 11B. He's a really cool streamer. He's a really cool guy. So yeah, make sure we show him some love. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye, everybody.